Good morning, student. Today we will start our fourth chapter, sorting materials in groups. So sorting means putting in order. Observe your school library. Notice how books are arranged. They are arranged in orderly. The books are arranged subject wise. For example, English books are arranged in one shelf, Hindi books in another shelf, and so on. Within a given subject, they may be further arranged as author wise, alphabet wise, or publisher wise. Thus, grouping of these books orderly makes it easier to find a book in the library. This saves effort of searching any book from a pile of books. The grouping of things in an order not only helps to save time but also saves energy. So, sorting is an important aspect in our daily life. Sorting. Now, sorting means arrangement of things on the basis of certain similarities and differences. Objects are grouped on the basis of their shapes, the materials from which they are made up of, and the properties of these materials. Materials can be grouped on the basis of similarities or differences in their properties. Similarities help us to arrange things in the same group. Differences help us to arrange things into separate groups. For example, here the pencils are made up of wood. So they are arranged in one group. Sorting on the basis of materials they are made up of. So we use variety of objects in our day-to-day lives. They look different and have different properties from each other. Objects are made up of different materials such as wood, leather, glass, metals, etc. An object can be made from more than one materials. Example, metals, leather, rubber, plastic, and other materials are required to make a car. Different objects can be made from the same material. For example, table, chair, door. All these things are made up of wood. And objects can be made from different materials. For example, bottle. Bottle can be made of glass, plastic, as well as metal also. Next is grouping of objects on the basis of common properties. So common properties are luster, hardness or softness, transparency, solubility, flotation, attraction towards magnet, conduction of heat and electricity. So let us study these properties one by one. First one is luster. Luster, the materials can be grouped as lustrous and non-lustrous on the basis of luster or shine. So lustrous material means have shine on them. For example, gold. Gold have a shine. So it is a lustrous material. Non-lustrous material means they do not have a shine. For example, wood and plastic, they do not have a shine. So lustrous and non-lustrous. Next, our property is hardness. Materials can be grouped as hard or soft. Soft materials. Materials that can be compressed or scratched easily are called soft materials. See, this is a sponge. We can easily press it. We can easily compress. So, it's a soft material. It's a soft material. Hard materials. Materials that are difficult to compress are called hard materials. For example, wood, stone, cricket ball, iron, and most of the other metals. So, see the pencil, it is made up of wood. You cannot compress. So it's a hard material. Next is roughness. Materials can be rough or smooth. Rough materials. Rough materials have bumps or ridges on their surface. This is the rough material, bark of a tree, which can be felt by touching them. Examples of rough materials are rocks, sandpaper, and bark of a tree. So this is a sandpaper. When you touch the sandpaper, you will feel the roughness on it. So this is a rough materials. Next is smooth materials. Some materials lack these bumps. These materials are smooth to touch. A glass sheet, flower petals, and surface of an apple are examples of smooth surface. This is a petal of flower. You can see here also it's a petal of flower. When you touch the flower petal, you will feel it very smooth. So it's a smooth